All right, my gamers. Hope you all had fantastic afternoon so far, cause now it's time to watch blazing hot Strive matches with pronouns included. Ooh, so good evening and welcome to each and every one of you, old and new alike. You're now watching Bounty Hunters, a first to 7 show match event for, you guessed it, Guilty Gear Strive, featuring players ranging across all imaginable skill levels. So for the next couple of hours, we'll run you through 6 rare matchups, at least in Bounty Hunter standards, I feel like. My name is kyuukei, and tonight on the microphone with me, Lerkuss from the Portuguese fighting game community.
Hello. This is going to be great in terms of adding data to the spreadsheet, to our Bounty Hunter's own matchup spreadsheet, because 3 different Testament matchups, and in general just 3 Testament matches being shown off. Especially interesting to see is CarrotOfWisdom picking up Testament. Do you know if that's something that they're planning on maintaining? They're working on the Testament for future use, or just experimenting with characters?
I think it's sort of like a self-imposed challenge, because it is a fact that, you know, CarrotOfWisdom is kind of like a household name of the cream of the crop EU players, and sometimes it can be hard to find a matching opponent for them. So sometimes they sign up with like conditions: if you can't find an opponent for me, I can also play this. So being a player of basically playing every character in the cast, this time they're gonna be Yeah,
I've seen how much Carrot plays this game. You know, essentially playing it full time as a full time job.
Yeah.
So, you know, you'd hope that playing that much, you would be able to focus and be good. And I mean, Carrot has the showings in these events to show that they're definitely, you know, very strong player to our European local-ish scene.
Yeah, and I think I saw Carrot taking one of the salty brackets recently as top 1. So yeah, definitely putting their sort of performance up there, putting the tournament results on the table.
And recently playing a lot of Jackos since the patch, since the buffs. That's been their kind of go-to character, I think, right?
Yeah,
a lot of propaganda for the goober-based footsies.
That will make the matchup today very interesting, because they're basically playing against their own character. Because Fecian Jacko is gonna be the guy on the opposite side of the octagon tonight.
Another really strong Jacko player who has also been here on the show multiple times before. And so it's gonna be interesting to see. You know, Jacko's a very technical character that in terms of Strive, up there with Sato on the ability that she gives to the player to kind of manipulate and play in different ways, and just express yourself through the kind of setups and the way you play the character. So I do wonder how far, you know, Carrot's massive experience with Jacko will lead into, you know, experience of the matchup when playing against a different Jacko.
Right.
I'm excited to see that.
It is one thing to know what to do, and then another thing to actually pull it off from your muscle memory during a match, especially on a character you're not necessarily as comfortable.
Yeah, and sometimes you might not have a knowledge of the specific tools of the character you're using to then go against someone else, you know, using your character, like either not being used specifically. Obviously, I don't know how much time Carrot has already put into Testament. I don't know how aware they are of how their tools might be used to deal with Jacko specifically. And I do wonder how much practice you can realistically be getting on the matchup, because, you know, Carrot and Fecian, the two of them are probably, Europe's top 2 jackals. There's no one that really
Right.
comes to mind that's active right now in our scene that matches that level and that you would be able to get proper practice against.
Right, because you kind of don't want to go against, like, kind of don't want to practice against your opponent for the FT7.
Yeah, exactly.
That is definitely a thing.
Other than that, other matchups today that are interesting. Obviously, we've got a lot of household names here. For sure, Radune, Sierra, Gaz, Dollar Scatter coming back, who has been gone for a few weeks. We haven't seen them around as long. Frinky, who's kind of solidifying themselves as a returning name, having this being the second week in a row that they get to play.
Signing up very actively.
Yeah, and it's good that you're being able to find matchups for them, because they're the one that's from Iraq, if I'm
Yes.
not mistaken, which is quite a ways away. I think, being here on the farthest western edge of Europe, that's about as far as I can imagine sort of EMEA region going.
Yeah, I've been trying to encourage everybody who's playing against Frinky to always connection test, so there are no nasty surprises. Like, even though we have the magical rollback, it can only do so much, and sometimes we all know how internet magic works. Sometimes, even if you're like relatively close by, the routing just doesn't do its magic.
Yeah,
and then
especially exactly. Fun fact, since you mentioned routing, there's a very fun phenomenon that I've been testing with a friend of mine, that she's actually been doing some research on. It's the fact that it seems that if you route through France, I don't know what happens, but any connection that goes directly through France just gets so much worse. And it seems to be consistently when it goes through France, that you get really bad increases in ping.
Yeah, I don't want to shit talk France either, but there was like kind of like a meme back in the day, especially like in the Exil community, that like it was basically impossible to get matches against the French people. There's got to be something with their internet infrastructure there, right? It kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it's very bizarre, because I play against people in Finland, and I've done tests again with people from Finland of checking, pinging and seeing the routing, and it seems to just completely avoid France, and then I get 100 ping to someone in Finland, and it's relatively playable on 2 to 3 rollback frames when I go on a game like Strive or I play Plus R. But I was trying to play someone in Sweden, and my connection to them actually, after testing, did go through France. And even though Sweden is closer than Finland, I would get 200 MS to them, and a very much harder to play connection. So that was bizarre.
Yeah, it is. Like, you basically, when it comes to connections, unless you exactly know where the routing goes, like, there's no reason to try to predict it. Sometimes it just doesn't fucking work. It is literally black magic. But yeah, our first pair of the evening already raring to go. ZoKHiZ Nago and Gamma Bridget. This will be basically the first time that Gamma gets to take their Bridget out for a spin, I think, or is this the second time? Either way, it is a very a recent acquisition, and ZoKHiZ has been really hungry to play against Bridget. Every week it's like, give me Bridget, and I've been trying to stall for the Bridget players to get up there with experience to be able to match players as strong as ZoKHiZ.
Yeah, and obviously the arc of ZoKHiZ picking up Nago is still relatively recent, so it's good to see other players. Gamma's also a very, very strong name on the EMEA region who's been picking a lot of different characters recently. Either I don't know if they're going through a character crisis or just trying something new, trying to see what sticks. But I am curious to see in the time since Bridget has come out in more than one way how Gamma has been able to shape up to get ready for this matchup today against our resident big body player. Again, we were talking about household names, and these two are some of the best ones we could have to start the day off.
Yeah, speaking of matchups, I'm super interested if this is one of those matchups again where Nago kind of has the advantage as long as you have the blood with the neutral skips. I wonder if Bridget has to run away and make Nago spend blood before she gets to like establish keep away. I guess we're gonna see. Ooh, a big jump slash counter hit.
Yeah, and taking ZoKHiZ all the way over to the other side of the screen, taking them to the corner almost.
Bridget's air-to-air game is just phenomenal. I think in like same kind of class as Baiken, if you get a good counter hit in the air, she's gonna counter hit you into a corner carry and a lot of damage usually.
Yeah, and we were talking about like, oh yeah, we need to find someone who's gonna be a match for ZoKHiZ. And Gamma did a really good job here at the start of the round, but unfortunately Nagoriyuki will do Nagoriyuki things. It just ate, just over 50% of Gamma's life in one combo. Really, yeah, building into that.
Ooh, that was nice. Was able to get a double jump. So
look at that. Yeah, that wrist gauge does not forgive, and so a big counter hit such as 5H hitting like that is gonna cause a lot of damage. Good block on the gold burst, good call up from Gamma.
Oh yeah, Bridget has a lot of tools to change her trajectory in the air as well, so if you're just trying to react immediately with 6P, she can go like the Roger dive, she can just abort her, her spinning move.
I don't remember what that's called. But it's very interesting. I was about to go comment on that exactly. Was the fact that Gamma is varying how much they hold the spin into the yo-yo set, using the air bear grab as a kind of tool to just vary up that air approach as well.
Oh, nice jump.
ZoKHiZ is reacting to the incoming command grab. Now,
ooh, I think that's a good response.
Water reversal.
Won't be able to RC here, and ZoKHiZ.
Does that just kill?
I think that's a kill.
Ooh. Just like that, on a good reversal call, ZoKHiZ takes the first game of the day. And even still, Gamma's putting in work. Gamma's just like one little bit of adaptation and reads away from just taking the round. So
if I've ever seen an information gathering round or game, that was probably it. That was like relatively slow for Nago pace usually. Then again, ZoKHiZ is a Nago player who loves to play a little slower, or rather change the pace.
Yeah, I think Nago, because of the way the improved normals from level 3 blood work, does end up surfing itself well for the way that ZoKHiZ enjoys playing the character. Just, go up to that blood level and start dominating space, moving slowly, and then when you want to explode them, you take that chance. Exactly.
Oh, tried to go for it.
2H at the air.
A little greedy for ZoKHiZ, tried to extend that pressure. But now, I think when you get Bridget into this position, a lot of her, ability to play neutral is hidden like behind mobility. When you're backed against the corner, you really can't use that mobility to its full effect. Yeah.
Yeah, especially against someone that's just throwing a lot of disjointed hitboxes at you like Nagoriyuki does. You're gonna really struggle because Bridget doesn't have good disjoints to fight back in the same way. You have to really put your your very hurtable body out there and hope you can make it through and hope you can call out the correct options to avoid everything. And now I see a lot of pressure from Gamma trying to move forward, but ZoKHiZ
nice check on the
being
forward
the immovable object.
Oh, tried to fish for the 6 head. Oh wait, that whiffed? I wonder if that was a little too early.
I think ZoKHiZ just already ready and jumping. Yeah, ZoKHiZ seems to be so mindful. Has the reactions on point to catch these command grab attempts.
Yeah, Gamma was putting that command grab option on the table very early to the first game. I think ZoKHiZ has, you know, learned from that and is actively fuzzy jumping, I want to say. And now, in this corner, yeah, that's a lot of blood split. Oh no, it's amazing! That's critical!
Oh no! Is this a Hotashi setup?
Yes,
Almost.
indeed.
And just to make sure, you're gonna eat another 6 heavy into the wall.
Damn, ZoKHiZ just ended up getting a like how you gotta adjust really fast to be able to be like, all right, I'm gonna explode here and I'm gonna get the setup. And in that situation, you're basically guessing high-low because that instant overhead from the blood raged jump heavy, is it? Yeah, you're probably not gonna react to that, huh?
Yeah. And it's a really active button. That's really interesting. Gamma's going for this cross-up with the aerial version of the bear command grab. I hadn't really seen before, so maybe I'm just behind on my brisket deck, but it's very interesting to see. Ooh, unfortunately getting caught out and getting so much damage done.
Alright, small pokes, blood. Yeah. It's gonna be filled for ZoKHiZ. Now Gamma, if only we had a little bit of extra real estate. Now we do.
I'm seeing is a really good amount of blood control from ZoK right now, but Gamma, oh, unfortunately, doesn't get the full conversion, but still, did a really good amount of pushback to ZoKHiZ. Good work into that health bar, but it is unfortunately the largest health bar in the game, but Gamma is not giving up.
How did Gamma manage?
Again.
I think squeezing between the, you know, the clone and the Hukyo somehow. Oh, super here.
That was 100 meters to get out of the tough situation. Gamma still has the pressure going. This round has been going on for a while. These two players are playing so patient, but
a little too close with that full blood. ZoKHiZ can't really challenge from too far away, but at the tip end of that 2S.
Yeah, new 2S, now that it becomes larger, I think, or does it just get faster? I'm not sure. I'm fairly sure Neat has told me, and I'm, you know, disappointing her by not remembering properly.
Ooh, a little fake there.
Calling out the 6B.
Oh, I
think this is death.
Yeah, with the close slash here. And now ZoKHiZ is gonna get a setup for basically a kill. Gamma does have burst coming back and a lot of meter to play with, but yeah, you can only do so much. That really, one of the things that triggers me about Nagoriyuki, how good his normals are catching you off jumps. Like far slash right there, it's really not supposed to be an anti-air, but still ends up catching Gamma nonetheless. Same thing with far.
It is very bizarre that you know, I was talking about this recently, how it seems bizarre that the kind of penalty mechanic for Nagoriyuki makes his normal so much better. You know, like being on higher blood feels like it should be a bad thing.
Yeah, it's really interesting with Nago. It's sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. It really depends on the matchup. Ooh, good DP.
Oh, solid DP. But this is still a massive health difference, considering we're talking about the biggest body in the game, the most guts, against 0 guts, poor old Bridget, who's about to get nailed in the air.
And to add insult to injury, Bridget doesn't really have the highest combo damage unless she gets, like, you know, one of those air-to-air jump slash counter hits.
Good grab on the counter, on the command grab. And now we're just advancing forward. Kickstarted by Hart, getting the wall break. Getting Sunglasses Roger out for a heavy knockdown. Tries to go with that command grab again, but misses. Now ZoKHiZ has the health deficit, but still, you know, this is Nagoriyuki. Both of these characters are at one interaction away from death.
Wasn't able to convert into the second hit, but now ZoKHiZ has the meter. Uh-oh, both plays with the burst. Baiting it, but I guess, you know, ZoKHiZ, that was very brave for Gamma, because Gamma's life was basically on the line there. ZoKHiZ was pretty okay taking the burst to the next round, but Gamma getting pretty decent value for not flinching there and bursting prematurely.
Now, on the first round 3 of the set, I'm fairly sure.
6B mash against Kickstart?
I guess ZoKHiZ actually go for it. You know, Nagoryu 6B is a surprisingly good tool against people just advancing against you, so I think that seems to be just a good option for the situation, but Gamma's being able to cancel out of their approaches to bait it out. Look at how fast it recovers, and now I don't think you can burst anywhere here. Oh no, this might just catch Gamma, doing a lot of damage on the counter hit.
Yeah, that hesitation wanted to get ZoKHiZ's last minute burst, but ZoKHiZ, nerves of steel. On the other hand, ZoKHiZ really doesn't have a good opportunity to use the burst anymore here. But
you know, maybe we're gonna see the craziest gold burst from ZoK.
Oh,
actually using it to break pressure, but 2S from Gamma will close out the round and the game.
All right, we are on board. Sort of long time coming. I think a lot of those games so far have been really close to going for Gamma. It's sort of the classic. You have to play extremely patient against Nagoriyuki. The rounds, especially if you play these, you know, characters that don't hit as hard, you're gonna have to grind that character down. And one mistake can just change the momentum immediately. Ooh, trading blow for blow. And speaking of the neutral skips, we were talking about Nagoriyuki earlier. Bridget has some pretty good ones as well, and Gamma has been going. Oh, is that gonna hit hard, high enough? Yes, it
does hit quite high up, and that's the kill.
All right, but yeah, Kickstart, especially when combined with 50 meter, very potent neutral skip from super far away and extremely fast as well.
Yeah. And you can actually do some pretty funny stuff off of it with the follow-ups. The punch follow-up is I'm fairly sure it's ever so slightly plus, so it allows for some options if you space it out correctly. If it's not plus, it's at the very least safe.
And Gamma.
Now, Gamma finding the ways in, gets another super for the wall break, and now will be coming in with the heavy knockdown.
Yeah, Gamma is definitely catching on to ZoKHiZ's Abara habits. Like, he's had some pretty good reversal supers so far. Now, Gamma is clearly structuring their offense in a way where they're baiting much more of that incoming potential super. And it's working out. Not committing to that pressure seems to be the key for now. Oh. An extra bite for the road. Third one? No, not this time. But ZoKHiZ has so much blood spent here. Burst, giving Gamma some ammunition. Oh my goodness, I thought that was actually gonna miss again. Oh, who has the command grab now though? That should be the kill, right? 6 heavy will do the job. Very brave trying to round start challenge against Nagoriyuki. I wonder if you want to challenge Nagoriyuki on round start, you better have. Oh no, but wait with that thought. ZoKHiZ on the position.
ZoKHiZ here, just one good hit away from taking Gamma out. That could have been it, but didn't get the conversion off of it. Gamma escaping the corner, sending ZoKHiZ back into it. The back throw incident. ZoKHiZ bursts away, stealing a bit of distance. But there's Gamma back in.
With the 3 overheads. Oh, they're a little too early. Oh,
okay, goes for the goal first. Okay, Gamma's just going for it right now. Wants to get the mix going. ZoKHiZ not super happy, you can tell. But oh, the jump!
Wow!
Slash finds the hit in.
That hits from so far away.
Ryuki's got a big sword.
I think the player's disconnected, so I'm gonna message them quick.
Well, connection has been lost.
Alright, let's see if they already went in or not.
Yeah, it appears that we had a unfortunate drop.
Okay, ZoKHiZ noticed.
Nice.
It's super interesting to see how the RPS is developing. ZoKHiZ has been representing those, like, very daring reversal supers. I know ZoKHiZ loves to do that, because whenever I play against Zok, he is basically like putting the big options on the board. He's like, alright, you commit to the offense, I'm gonna do this, and then you're gonna feel bad. And that'll definitely sort of guide you to respect him so much during your own offense. And if you're too scared, then he's gonna get a lot of value out of you, just not being daring enough to press on your own pressure situations.
Confidence, yeah, in general, just confidence does so much for your ability to, keep running your game plan and keep pushing forward. Because obviously you need to have a certain level of confidence in yourself on your offense, because if you doubt that you actually can get in, you're a lot more likely to have your offense stifled.
On the other hand, I think Pridget is probably one of those characters who can play offense fairly safe without having to commit, those long-range buttons. Albeit, they don't have a lot of disjoints, so like a single good read for 6p in the corner for the opponent is, gonna get them out of there. Oh wow, ZoKHiZ with the super fast burst, wanting to get Kama in the corner.
Getting the back throw.
The
and
classic.
Even walking forward to make sure ZoKHiZ stays back as far back as possible, throwing out Roger. Now ZoKHiZ, yes, going on the offense right now, but in the very ZoKHiZ calm and collected way, but gets hit by the low.
Speaking of, here it comes again.
And once again, it's going to do so much damage. Look at that, nearly dead. Now ZoKHiZ with a double Fukyo forward. They both jump. ZoKHiZ responds with the air grab.
Hard read there for ZoKHiZ.
That is a mental destroying. Yeah, a lot of players after having that done to them would just have like a bit of a mental break for the set. I know Gamma is beyond that. I want to believe so, at least.
And that wasn't the reaction either. ZoKHiZ just committed. They just jumped perfectly in synchro. But Gamma not faced, keeping ZoKHiZ in the corner here. Gotta be careful though. ZoKHiZ has a very low amount of life, so the specials could come out at any second. Here we go. Oh, nice backdash!
There they are. Solid counter hit. Unfortunately, doesn't get the conversion, but it's fine. ZoKHiZ with the grab.
Nice.
Another command grab, and Gamma gets it. Yeah, there we go.
You gotta commend Gamma how actively they are playing the strike throw game. Not afraid of at all. And I feel like that's the right way to go as well. You gotta represent your options and make your opponent, you know, guess as often
Gold
as
burst
you can.
from Gamma. Very offensive.
Wow.
Dodging the command grab.
ZoKHiZ with a reversal bite. It was very amphibious. Here with the overheads once again. Ooh, the delayed low catches. But we still need one good combo. Ooh, skipping past the 2S. Not quite getting the wall stick.
ZoKHiZ does have the burst again now, which they can attempt to... Never mind. There will be no use of burst right now, as ZoKHiZ gets taken out. Or Gamma's third point, almost catching up.
Yeah, understandable when your opponent is like standing at that far range, you know, even though Bridget doesn't have a lot of disjoints, she can just wait and not hit the button. Basically like checking, all right, are you gonna burst? No? All right, I'll hit the button then. If you burst too prematurely, you're just gonna end up whiffing it, so choosing the position in that situation is not the easiest thing to do. Oh, is ZoKHiZ gonna bump?
Oh wow, rare footage of ZoKHiZ getting a bit too aggressive with the specials, but gets out of it very fast. He hits the jump dust. Hello?
JD, my beloved, however, not
Right
delivering.
into... Look at how scaled that 6H was. Typically you don't see 6H doing that little damage. Just goes to show, you know, how much happened in that combo. After JD, you know, canceling off of the command grab will scale your combo very aggressively.
Damn, that BRC slowdown allowed ZoKHiZ to actually get a punish there on landing on Gamma. Again, Gamma. Ooh, nice, going
Hitting
under the 6P.
low. Yeah.
That's sort of the adjustment you gotta make. Your layer 1 options are, of course, your far slash, your projectile, your 5 heavy, which will generally get beaten by 6P, but, you know, if the opponent is representing the 6P, you gotta start going low.
Yeah, and another thing I've noticed that Gamma is starting to do as an adaptation has been, you know, we've seen, oh no, this can be very bad for Gamma, not being able to properly punish Blood Rage on the situation, and now ZoKHiZ is gonna go in, holding for the burst. Gamma very patient with the use. ZoKHiZ is gonna blow up a second time, but this time Gamma has the punish. But I'll say, I want you to notice that ZoKHiZ was reacting a lot to another hard call out air grab. Gamma has been threatening a lot with the forward approaching moves that Bridget has, and ZoKHiZ has been responding quite a few times with that 6P, but Gamma started as an adaptation using the kind of slower version of Kickstart My Heart, just holding back after you start it up to go very slowly,
Yeah,
to just arrive after the 6P or just cancel out into a punish of the 6P. It's very interesting.
Yeah, that's one of the options we don't still see very often from Bridget players.
Solid conversion.
I think this will get caught.
Unfortunate drop. And yeah, I think Gamma,
It's gonna be a
very...
kill.
Yeah. That was so sad. The drop of the combo, unfortunately, and then Gamma going over to try and salvage something, and unfortunately getting punished.
Alright, but definitely not over yet. ZoKHiZ at 5, Gamma at 3. But I feel like there's still room for basically anything to happen in any... Wow, ZoKHiZ, you really did that? Gold burst, we are going full throttle. Oh, saving the 50 meter for the next screen, alright. Yeah, straight through the yo-yo. You all know the clone. And that's almost a lights out. Oh, wait a second.
But 1 HP and a dream back throw wins it in, perhaps? Will this catch the backdash still? It did.
That must have been really close to recovering.
Yeah,
There was also
that was
potential
so sad.
to actually set up a chip kill with that super.
You don't really see, you know, that super chip kill very often. I don't think I've ever seen it use the chip out to someone.
Right.
I mean, when your normals do chip damage, when you have that privilege, why do you need to spend meter on going for chip?
Right, and it only hits one time, so...
Exactly.
ZoKHiZ very close to popping. Did Gamma notice? No, they
Oh
didn't!
no! This is one big thing about playing a character that you're not yet used to, is the fact that you have to dedicate so much more of your mental bandwidth to the, managing your own stuff, what buttons you're pressing, what are you doing, what your opponent is doing, that it's really hard to pay attention to these extra things that, when you're already a lot more comfortable with your autopilot on a character, you can, much more easily pay attention to stuff like Nago blood meter and heavy chaos bullets, etc.
And if your game plan doesn't specifically revolve around playing with the blood, it can be very mentally taxing action to take.
And it depends on how much you've played against Nago, how much knowledge you have. I know people who are so experienced at fighting against Nago without being Nago players themselves that they just count the amount of specials that the Nagoriyuki player is doing. Oh, solid blue RC! That was a really good escape, baiting ZoKHiZ into pressing something to try and punish, and then slowing it down to get an easy counter hit.
Yeah, the blue RC slowing your frames down for so much more than the purple one, and in that situation, I think, you kind of want to press a button, but you don't.
You want to, but you probably shouldn't, but it's very hard to tell yourself to not do it. I would have pressed a button there, right? Like, I'm not here saying that, like, oh, you should never press in that situation. I would be mashing the hell out of something.
Yeah, and it was because ZoKHiZ had their own, purple RC slowing down Gamma in the air, so you would think that it is your turn, but alas.
Once again, ZoKHiZ with really good reactions to these command grabs. And now, big conversion, big damage. Going into the super that's gonna avoid the pop.
Here comes the wave. And one more guess for the kill. Oh, does ZoKHiZ even have blood? Oh, of course that's it. Of course it does, because the super, of course, puts a lot of minus blood.
You do a lot of hits. Ooh. Gamma with the cheeky swap over, saying I want to be on this side of the screen now, I want to be player one for a little bit.
If ZoKHiZ lands anything on block, with the 100 meter, I think even if Gamma blocked that, they wouldn't have woken up from that block string ever, because ZoKHiZ had so many resources available.
Yeah, especially if ZoKHiZ had been able to do some, I don't know how much ZoKHiZ has labbed positive bonus pressure, but in that kind of situation where Gamma was waking up from a heavy knockdown wall break with so little health and no meter, going for those positive bonus block strings could have probably just did the checkmate.
Ooh, that was...
We're seeing the level 3 blood 2S putting in some work. That's such a fast normal.
Oh, tried to challenge with 6B.
Good hit. Forces a yo-yo away, gets grabbed unfortunately on the Fukyo approach. Yeah, calling out forward Fukyo is kind of the step one. You need to clear that step to be able to beat Nagoriyuki at all.
And an interesting
solid gold burst?
Interesting RPS situation that I didn't know about till recently is that even off that clone Fukyo, if Nagoriyuki commits into that Fukyo completely, you can actually mash a throw to call out their button unless they, abort their Hukyo earlier and press a button.
I think it's even just, Fukyo forward into throw, which is the fastest action that Nagoriyuki can do off of Fukyo. It's still, 28 frames. Oh no!
Into...
Oh no, there's so much spaghetti. There's so much spaghetti, both of them were at 1 health at the point. Oh.
Has so much chip potential with that Blood Rage. I wonder because ZoKHiZ ended up going kind of looked like they were going for the instant overhead, but they didn't press a button. I wonder if they just faked or actually missed their input there. But I guess we will never know.
And at the end of the day, whatever ZoKHiZ did, it killed, so it's optimal.
And sometimes there are these situations where you win with an extremely weird option, and your opponent is gonna be thinking about that. It's like, did they mean to do that? Am I supposed to adapt to that next time? I think sometimes it's just best to not think about it too thoroughly.
Sometimes you just have to be the Einstein of stupid options. Even if you're the most calm, collected, smart player imaginable. Which I think ZoKHiZ kind of is. ZoKHiZ, to me, in my mind, always comes across as that player that's super thoughtful about all of the steps of their play, which I think is why heavy body characters fit them so much.
Another command
now,
grab.
Gamma, not really enjoying the fact that ZoKHiZ is already in set point here.
Oh, that's
so yeah. That is a bit of a difficult super to use, because I don't see any big use for it, other than sort of getting a wall break at a very far distance.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those utility supers. You can, I guess if people throw their supers like from half or full screen, you can of course always respond with Roger and get the knockdown. But definitely the utility super, which doesn't have as
close slash counter hit, that could have done so much. ZoKHiZ going for a bit of a reset. That's not a drop, that's a reset. And now Gamma is just escaping the corner, playing it distance, not wanting ZoKHiZ to get any use of the level 3 blood now.
I like that, baiting the earlier special move, forcing ZoKHiZ to 3 blood. Oh, but here's the jump in. Potentially has the blood to go for one more special move. A lot of meter to back it up.
Does at this point, but Gamma has a lot of meter to play with. As such, we're gonna see potentially a lot of pressure.
No anti-air. Oh!
No RC after the ground, but it's mindful of all of the blood that was built up, and this time gets the punish, goes up to 5 points.
I was like, man, no OTG, but this time it was the better player was on the driver's seat. Gamma noticed that ZoKHiZ was actually gonna pop, so didn't need anything, just wait and take the shot. And now closing in. Uh-oh, critical drop for ZoKHiZ. Alright, Gamma getting out of the corner, forcing the burst out of ZoKHiZ.
This is honestly a really decent position for Gamma. Never mind. I was about to say, having the slight health disadvantage, but having taken the burst away was really good. Look at that slow kickstart. Just really trying to get in ZoKHiZ's head, not allowing ZoKHiZ to autopilot any responses, but that's not ZoKHiZ's style anyway.
The far slash catching, backdash.
Look at that conversion off of it, getting everything necessary, squeezing every last bit of damage off of the interaction.
And now Cyborg Samurai on set point. But Gamma is really close. If they manage to take these two rounds now.
Oh no! Oh no! Speaking of the 2 rounds in a row, that is looking less and less likely as ZoKHiZ gets a Nagori Yuki special massive combo.
Alright, Gamma has to live this mix-up. Alright, we're good. We have burst, we have meter. We can actually do this. Oh, but good jump from ZoKHiZ!
Jumps forward, unfortunately, so doesn't get the punish, doesn't get to end the round right there, then and there. Now Gamma very carefully putting up the pressure. This is a very terrifying situation to be in, because you want to apply pressure. Look at that shift damage. Gamma 1 hit away from losing the set.
The spacing, the back jump! How often do you see Nagoriyuki back jumping? It's usually towards the opponent, just wanting to get close. But ZoKHiZ probably predicted the kickstart neutral skip. I think, did Gamma have 50 meter? I think if they did, that was actually a brilliant move by ZoKHiZ.
And I don't know if you heard that just now, you know, since I did mute, but there was an ambulance even coming already to pick up Gamma, because that was an unfortunate amount of damage taken on that last round.
Indeed. Whew, oh
but still,
boy.
What a set to get us started today. Really good showing from Gamma on their on their start of picking up Bridget very close to her release and already putting in such a fight against one of the most established, powerful players in our quote unquote local bounty hunter scene.
Yeah, goes to show how how strong of a player Gamma is with the limited amount of time that they've had to put on the character already. Up there, being able to challenge some of these top players, like you said. Alright, let's see if we have our next players. Frinky Potemkin, Aizawa Testament. This would be...
Frinky's already in the room with us?
I think so, yeah.
I think that's them there.
Alright.
And Aizawa just shows up.
This will be the debut match for Aizawa Testament here on Bounty Hunters. And without a doubt, we're extremely happy to welcome more Testament players into the fray, at least. I am. There's a distinct lack of Testament players, especially in Europe, especially in that high level. We might...
There's some weird absent characters here in Bounty Hunters. I'm just saying, if you know Happy Chaos players, Zato players, and Ramthal players, make sure to, show them the Bounty Hunters Discord and get them signing up. We need data for the tier list.
I need it. Also, I need experience casting some of these characters.
And speaking of experience, this is... I don't know how this matchup would be. I mean, you're the Testament player here. How do you feel about playing against Potemkin?
I think this should be Testament advantage. Of course, Potemkin has Potemkin factor, and forward Mega Fists can be really annoying. So it's kind of, if you have your game plan down, if you are, if you're able to execute your game plan well enough, you should have the match in the bag as Testament. But things never go as you plan. And it's like one mistake, such as, is gonna put you in a position where you can super.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes having that reversal ability is all you need to steal away some wins. And what is Guilty Gear if not robbery?
But strangely enough, even though Potemkin is kind of one of those
really solid air grab from Frinky there, maintaining the pressure, counter hit Garuda. Yeah, that's big damage. Aizawa getting out. Unfortunate first situation.
Good accuracy on those flicks so far, and that flick is definitely what makes Testament's game plan a little more tricky to execute. You really can't throw fireballs as you would usually in a lot of other matchups.
Look at how unfortunately frail Testament is against that Potemkin buster. I mean, who really is ready to take a DB? Oh, another solid air grab, Frinky.
Good prediction. We booting the Grim Reaper down. Frinky up 1 point here. Yo, from where?
Hurtbox extension, really playing against Aizawa. Oh, teleported. If Frinky had some meter, I wonder if we would have seen a Heavenly there. Even still, another solid air grab, and now you have to eat the plus frames. Good backdash from Aizawa, getting out of the tough situation against Garuda.
Oh, what was projectile actually managing to hit twice there? That's not what happens usually.
And catching the backdash this time with the Garuda. The round start forward Mega Fiend is putting in a lot of work for Frinky right now. Oh no.
Hold on, because that burst was fairly high, but not taking too much damage in that sequence. Oh, there we go. Should be able to take the... Okay, takes the wall break early, and we're gonna go into a mix-up. This is actually checkmate situation for Aizawa. Choosing to play very safely.
I think this is just... There's a lot of fear of the grabs, fear of Potemkin's ability to just kind of slap you out, but, you know, Aizawa got the round in the end, and that's what matters.
Even if you don't commit in that wall break...
teleporting past the slide head, that was really good.
There we go. The second hit, unfortunately breaking the wall, so not getting stain or super... Ooh, into punish.
Into another wall break. Unfortunately, he still has the first positive bonus, so it will not get refreshed.
Nicely timed, 5 heavy. Waiting for the reversal super, which doesn't come.
The armor on that hammerfall does help a lot. Very slow and deliberate play from both of those flicks. Testament in their nose and sends them back into the corner.
Oh,
and now
another Frinky! I think not a single air dash out of the corner has been successful for Aizawa yet. Wow! Frinky keeping the air pots clean completely.
Anti-air battery Potemkin. And this is, I mean, it just solidifies the essence of playing a grappler. You know, playing a grappler means to kind of instill fear on your opponent, and when you cut off these sorts of options from your opponent's head by responding really well to them, that's when you start putting them in a position where they're gonna start getting grabbed by your other mix-ups. And Frinky, you know, this is the beginning of a really good bit of conditioning. Aizawa making a good teleport in. Gets the wall break with the stain.
Rewards are on the table. Ooh, gets the stain is lost. A straight hit. Didn't look the cleanest of hits, but RC extend, keep the pressure alive.
Oh no. Speaking of pressure, that was a very unfortunate burst, but thankfully for Frinky, Aizawa was not able to properly punish at that range.
This time not able to teleport out of the projectile's way. Ooh, what's gonna happen here? Oh, they were faking it.
Oh, and the Gigantor is still coming. Goes for the 5B, but unfortunately that doesn't kill.
The 2K does not go into the super. I wonder if that was... They were probably trying to super after the Gigantor, but accidentally got 2K out. That's actually what I end up doing a lot of the time. Alright, our first escape from the corner, pod.
Ooh, that cross-up hit and converting off of it, very nicely done from Aizawa. Gets another cross-up hit with a teleport.
Yeah, this matchup gets so much more fun to play for Testament once you get that stain on.
Isn't that every matchup?
Pretty much. But especially since like single hits just don't.
Oh, that was fear. That super freeze was a terrifying thing to see. And how meaty Garuda is so plus, and every time you get hit by it, it gets a little more plus. But Aizawa just goes in with a low.
I think Aizawa is one of the most creative Testament players I've seen with teleport so far, and RPSing it with super actively. You know, even if the succubus is out on the screen, going for the fake and then maybe taking a teleport afterwards. If you're Frinky right now, you will definitely not be able to tell when they're gonna teleport.
Trying to go for the butt slam very much right now.
Oh, gets there in time. But Aizawa's running really low on health.
Oh, hits the burst and deals with the Gigantor. The flick blast.
Yeah, that's
gets the game.
It's kind of so the two primary threats for Potemkin. If you use Arbiter Potemkin can, of course, use Sleight Head and armor through it. If you use, you know, projectiles or Crow, Potemkin can flick it just like so. Just a lot of playing around with, you know, Potemkin's expectations, varying your rhythm, stuff like that. Uh-oh.
Oh,
Nice.
and another good air grab.
Yeah, there's really no short supply of those amazing air grabs from Frinky, and gets another one.
Solid hit with the jump kick. Exil is trying to get in, but unfortunately facing a lot of aggressive pressure from Frinky here. The held fireball there being too slow to mess up Frinky's timing. Now Exil is being able to get in, keeping Frinky in the corner. Teleports close, gets the grab. And this is gonna be more sustained pressure and gets the round.
All right.
Just gets the round. I don't know what I was trying to go with that. Sorry.
Threatening to get on the board. Ooh, close slash. Ah, but especially being able to flick the Crow, it's kind of tricky.
I do appreciate how Frinky seems to also be really wanting to flick back Testament themselves.
Oh, straight into
solid
that
jump.
Alright, back to the neutral, but you would think Testament just controls neutral, but like, due to the two things that I mentioned earlier, it's much more of a, you know, RPS and waiting game, even against Potemkin, who's not really known for their, you know, massive reach.
Potemkin have some of the biggest normals due to the fact that, you know, he is nearly like a 3-meter tall. And you can tell in this game, but even still, you don't get a lot out of those big normals. So you can not play against those big punches and those far-reaching arms as much as you have to deal with, you know, Testament's large normals for once.
Yeah, forced to use the burst there, not to get squished between Potemkin and the corner. Oh! Opting to backdash out of the situation. And getting out of the Garura as well. You know, Exil is playing really dangerous game there, sort of trying to time the teleport so that Frinky's strikes barely miss and then teleport in their face to get a whiff punish. Oh, wow.
Yeah. If you get hit by the Gigantor right now in the corner, because it keeps on not breaking the wall, you can do some pretty nasty combos as Potemkin. Oh, solid grab from Aizawa, getting Frinky in the corner, but gets hit by the butt slam and swept away.
Punish, yes. And now we're setting up the shop. Guys, look at how little damage you get as a punish for, you know, waiting for those hammer falls. That's Potemkin for you. Uh-oh. 1-2, very decent damage. Now, heists it.
Forward Mega Fist. And yeah, Aizawa does manage to still get the round. I mean, Frinky was on just 1 health, but does have the burst going into this round. And I think Frinky getting the burst at the end of last round was probably one of the best things they could have gotten.
Alright, oh, straight teleport into flick once again. Oh, is he gonna get grabbed again? Yes, indeed!
Another air grab into the meaty Garuda.
Got any hits for Frinky? Oh, he did so much!
Another flick! And the
Yes.
hammerfall armoring through.
Even though that fireball technically hits twice because the initial hit is actually a strike, you do have to hit Potemkin in really from like very weird angle to actually get the 2 hits to break Potemkin's armor. I've actually like very rarely seen it happen. Aizawa managed to actually do it in one of the earlier games, surprisingly.
Ooh, 6H counter hit. That's a dangerous button to be eating. And now Gigantor. Aizawa gets teleported into it and unfortunately dies to the big combo afterwards.
Definitely a double-edged sword so far in this set, that aggressive teleport forward into the succubus. Ooh, manages to jump out of the high arbiter again! Cold on me.
Unfortunately is crossed up after the burst, so Aizawa doesn't just really get a conversion into the wall break, but this is still a very dangerous situation for Frinky, who's now at very low health compared to Aizawa. We're not seeing a lot of mixes out of Midi Garuda into something like, you know, attempted at Potemkin Buster or Heat Metal predicting Chum. So I do wonder, you know, if Frinky is gonna introduce that yet into the game plan in this set.
Yeah, they're definitely going for more strike-heavy options and sort of trying to be very safe out of their own pressure. Yeah, this time Aizawa not jumping. I think the solution here is to sort of try to defuse the situation with the normals instead. Oh no!
Unfortunately getting hit by the Gigantor.
Might have been trying to jump out there and getting caught on the way up, but that Gigantor comes out super fast. Well, not like super fast, but in that situation, I think you're not gonna be able to jump out of it. It's just gonna spawn on top of your head. And I can't believe how, you know, the score, the 6-0 here, doesn't necessarily tell the tale of the set completely, because Aizawa has been so close to taking games so far.
Yeah, but it's those small, but you know, because it's Potemkin, they turn out to be very massive interactions that take a lot of damage at once that Aizawa can't afford to be losing, are causing a lot of problems. I mean, you know, Potemkin does need, on average, fewer interactions to win a set against any other character than that character will need against him.
Right. I think, like, in terms of RPS situations won, they have, like, they're probably like 50-50 equal, but like you said, Testament has to win so many more to actually be able to get around. Wow, the 6P actually beat forward Mega Fist! How?
That is a rare sight to see.
That is
now
hyper
good
rare.
Conversion into the corner. Frinky has had these fuzzy jumps on lockdown, preventing the Arbiter's fine pressure from really doing much against them. The cross up super?
That is kind of cool.
I don't think I've ever really seen anyone do that, just crossing up into super. I mean, Nostrovia, not Nostrovia, Calamity 1 is such a relatively slow super that you wouldn't think it would work very often, but I mean, if it works, it works.
Again, you gotta consider, like, because often enough the button that beats this forward Mega Stick again. I mean,
Testament 6P is really good. But...
Yeah, I was about to say, if there is a 6P that can do it, it's gotta be Testament, right?
Yeah. And you're also gonna need it to be at the very specific angle, you know, and timing to then be able to beat it. Now Aizawa then, hashtag not free, getting their first point in the scoreboard, but you know, Frinky's already in the match point position, so it's going to be definitely an uphill battle. And speaking of, here come the Podbusters now.
Ow, catching the backdash, close slash, doing its magic. Here comes the mix-up.
Double overhead into the low.
It is a
Did
tough...
I just see Eno grew a couple meters?
Definitely a tough place to be right now. Oh.
A karate chop in the air. Getting a good hit, but I think he's relegated back into the corner, but slide head and hammerfall just get back in. Aizawa pushing back a flick. It's a lot of work.
Oh wow, the jump kick actually comes out in time. And now super important to keep Frinky in the corner, misses the combo.
And yeah, even though you're armored there, because that was the start of Hammerfall, you just don't have enough HP to take the hit. Now, Aizawa needs this round to not get taken out. Frinky, very close to taking the set.
Trying to remain
forcing
vigilant.
the burst out. Aizawa does not want to deal with the. I think it's plus 19 Garuda when you hit it at, you know, full meaty.
You know, it's kind of tricky. All of those slide heads are theoretically punishable if you're in position and ready to react with an instant air dash, but it's not the easiest thing. I think Testament doesn't have the fastest instant air dash in the game. So, oh, straight hit. Here we go.
Good conversion. Gets the stain back. Puts a lot of more pressure. Frinky tries to jump forward. Aizawa was ready for it. Gets the burst out.
And now it's now or never. Frinky is completely out of resources. Aizawa has to make this work.
Frinky slowly getting closer. Aizawa is running out of screen real estate to walk backwards into. And, you know, doesn't want to do it because of that negative penalty, but still finds some good hits. Gets the stain once again, gets a stain hit, and takes a second win. Still 4 points behind, but this could be a legendary reverse sweep.
You know, I wouldn't even be, like, mega surprised if this ends up being a reverse sweep, because, like we said, they've been playing so back-to-back. It's those little things that Frinky has been able to, you know, utilize to take the rounds. I think Aizawa has what it takes.
Yeah.
They just gotta play super tight.
Sometimes you're dying to someone's base game plan. They get a lot of points ahead, and you manage to adapt them. And that might be all it takes. It's just having to really think about how your opponent might then react to your reaction and your adaptation is going to be the really difficult thing here, because Aizawa does not have much room to breathe, but still, look at this. Such a good effort getting the stain wall break once again.
What I've seen, like, for the couple of like the last 5 rounds, doesn't it look like Aizawa is just getting better? Somehow they're just hitting so many.
Just barely avoiding the PB, but unfortunately taking the round.
That was kind of funny. Aizawa actually went under with Testament's 2K there initially against this jump in. Goes to show how very low profile that button is. But again, it's a do or die situation, and we need these 2 rounds. We desperately need them. And here's a, like, sort of mental game. Oh no!
Oh, okay. Not a punish. Still good. Forward Mega Fist.
No punish on forward Mega Fist.
And a Potemkin buzzer. Is this it? No. Just barely. The OTG is not enough to kill. Aizawa is in such a rough position. Frinky still has the burst. He's gonna keep going.
The chip potentially still.
Gets a crouch with the teleport. 1 HP and the dream. But a butt is in the way of the dream.
Yeah, went for a teleport into a throw, I think I saw, but Frinky had the scent, jumps out.
Cheeked up Potemkin.
Holy.
Gets the set victory, but Aizawa, that was so well played as well. You know, that the score line does not reflect how well that set was played. Indeed,
it's like Aizawa was having the start of a very nice adaptation there. Adaptation there. That's the word I was looking for. But sometimes it do be like that. Potemkin with the Potemkin factor. And it is not the easiest matchup to play for sure for Testament. Alright, jumping into the next one. What do we got? Scatter Giovanna. A Giovanna player from Portugal that we've seen quite a lot here and there. Hopping in to challenge, or maybe the other way around, hopping in to challenge Scatter here is Exil Chip. There's quite a bit of stuff to say about this matchup. Let me fix all the UI related issues before. I start spouting wisdom. All right, so it is a very interesting matchup in a couple of different ways. So Scatter, the big grinder, streams pretty much every day. They're just always streaming, always getting better. Looking at the player levels, you might get the perception that, you know, Exil, can they actually do anything here? But, you know, Exil is actually an old Exert head from back in the day. And we've seen Exil already getting their feet wet in Strive a couple of times with Ino, I believe. And all of those performances were phenomenal considering how little they've played the game.
Yeah. And Scatter, as you've said before, we've already seen him before, very footsies focused Geo, which I think, you know, is really the correct character to be playing that on. You know, he definitely plays a really powerful style of using that step dash a lot and just knowing when to go in. Although I do wonder how that can work out against, you know, one of the fastest characters in the roster is Chip.
Yeah, there definitely will be a lot of, you know, delicate footsies here. Chip is usually sort of used to being the character that you don't challenge very easily when it comes to mid-screen pokes, but Geo actually... Yeah, Geo actually might be one of those characters that can do that, which would usually matchups like that where you're not sure if you're, you know, the aggressor, if you can say definitely with that you can set the pace of the match. Those matchups tend to be kind of awkward for Chip.
Yeah, I mean, Chip definitely wants to be the pace setter because he can be so much faster than everyone on, you know, on average. You can play however fast you want to play, and other people won't really be able to deal with it. Solid 6 speed to close out game 1 though from Scatter. But yeah, no, if you're on your opponent's face doing those really big mix chains and massive block strings, getting some good pressure resets going, you know, Chip becomes very easily a very hard to deal with problem for whoever's playing against you.
Yeah, and from the defensive point of view, of course, Chip never wants to be on the receiving end. Being the one who's actually hitting the opponent ensures that you will not be taking blows yourself. So that's another really important thing why Chip needs to be in control of the flow, sort of. But look who's in control here. Scatter, putting a couple of really damaging combos on the table. That is life deficit. Oh my goodness, whips their 6p and Scatter punishing with their own 6p.
Yeah, that was really solid use of the 6p. Scatter again, the classic thing we always say whenever he plays of just being super aware of spacing and all of those kinds of scenarios against every character that we see here, knowing when to go in and when to go apply pressure, when to just kind of back out and play reactively.
Wow, that call slash was so delayed. I would have been mashing there as well. And now Exil.
Wake up DP finds a hit.
Yeah, even had 100 meter to back it up if it's blocked.
Exactly. It's just sometimes that's all you need. Yeah, now Exil being able to go on the offensive, and that's what you want as Chip, as we were just saying. Just a case of like how much Exil has gotten ready to set up those really disadvantageous pressure strings against anyone else. Ooh, Geo found a 2D, classic button. Solid block on the gold burst.
I was kind of sneaky, whipping the DP and immediately trying to fish for a gold burst. Oh. Okay, I think I was really lucky for Exil. Didn't end up paying with their life from that. throw whip.
Yeah, but speaking of paying with your life,
Nice. Mashes up with 2K. Wait, that's Gamma Alpha. That's Gamma Blade. Gamma Blade in this game very slow to start up, so you can kind of mash on it, but it is plus on block if you end up respecting. Alright, fighting cross-ups. Yeah, these small combos hurt Chip so much. Ooh, managing to get an instant air dash out of the corner, and now time to mix. Oh, but scatter. Reading that approach, getting the classic reversal back throw. Wait a second though.
can still be. Never mind. Oh. Unfortunately, the dive kick super catches Exil.
You know, that thing is so hard to avoid. I think, like, if you time your 6P perfectly, you can definitely anti-air it, but I think more, you would much rather prefer it to whiff and try to maybe hunt for a whiff punish, but...
Good wall break on Scatter, that does prevent Exil from going for the burst, and now, on that low health, Exil's gonna be hard-pressed to find a situation where they can use the burst, unless they just go in with this 1 HP and take it into the next round, but unfortunately, the reversal super will take the game for Scatter.
Surprisingly, that 1 pixel situation is, I think, a relatively comfortable situation for a Chip, because oftentimes you would be dying anyway if you got hit by anything. So you're like, alright.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you are Chip. You kind of always are on 1 pixel health.
Pretty much.
This strive is just, you know, Guilty Gear, but it's always danger time.
And whether you like that or not, well, I hope you do, because...
Ooh, really nice block on the burst from Scatter there. Just, you know, the patient play just pays off.
Ooh, nice read!
Again, blocking.
Oh, my very small
Doesn't get a
punish.
big punish, unfortunately. And now, cross up JK.
I
Not
think-
JK, it's the windmill kick.
I think that's really instrumental, like especially if you play those bait like if you bait the DPs, if you bait the supers, you have to be able to back it up with a decent combo, especially with characters like Chip. The reversal DP works out this time.
Tries to go for the dive kick super, but doesn't get the hit. Slams into the ground,
Oh,
but that
no.
thing has virtually no recovery, so Scatter was able to get back into it and go back into the offensive. Exil now, once again, on the very normal 1 HP situation as Chip.
Oh, interesting.
RRC out of the leaf grab. Now going in, trying to keep the pressure going.
Oh,
Gets
baits
the
the burst!
burst bait! And gets the kill just like that and takes this to a round 3, maintaining the dream alive.
There we go, Exil redeeming themselves, missing the bait on that previous super, this time punishing the burst properly. Yeah, recognizing, that's a punish.
Getting the leaf grab. Gets unfortunately grabbed whilst walking forward on Scatter's wake up.
Oh!
Solid 6P into the Sunsen Roga, but it doesn't combo.
That was an interesting looking hit confirm. Yeah, I think like 6Ps in this game just don't have a lot of combo potential. They don't even like often. I'm surprised it didn't go into the super though.
I'm just interested because the super did hit, you know, a couple of the hits
times.
did go through, so I think it just needs to hit maybe by these, that specifically the last hit needs to connect in order to go into the cutscene.
Yeah, could have been a very late, you know, hit confirm, trying to actually hit confirm it. Believe it or not. Ooh, I think no 50 meters, so Exil is gonna enjoy a punish here.
Yeah, it gets a little bit of corner carry, takes Scatter back. Now Scatter escapes the corner. Exil still has a good amount of meter. There's something can be made to happen here. But unfortunately it won't be this round.
Yeah, if Exil wants to weather this storm though, they will have to start getting the successive, you know, wins on the board rather sooner or later before Scatter runs away with momentum. YRC just backs off. Oh, and reads the burst as well.
Exil. That was a really unfortunate burst. Good defense so far, but this is a rough position to be in. Gets a hit, gets the overhead into the RRC, but it's still just one interaction away from death.
Another good jump out, but no punish there. God, it's like, I'm sweating seeing this Exil chip pressure, always with that one last hit point. 5-0. Yeah, the experience on their respective characters is definitely shining through here a little.
Yeah, and I mean I've been seeing some bizarre. Seems like the connection might be stuttering a little bit. I don't know if that's something that's likely to happen, or if it's just a spectator problem. So I wonder if there's also problems on that front as well.
Right.
I don't know if you're seeing the same thing.
Yeah, I definitely see it. It is Sweden to Portugal, so like there is quite a bit of distance. Although these guys did do a connection check and said that it should be playable. Alright, Gendro's on. Let's see. Reversal DP. Yeah, it's gonna work against moves that don't hit low enough. Oh, again with the 2D frame trap leading into massive damage. Luckily for Exil, Scatter missing the big combo finish. But we need to find... Oh, good mash there.
Yeah, really solid now, and that's all that's needed. And now Scatter is going to advance into a set point position already, just very convincingly.
Feels like Exil just... Oh, another big counter hit. Yeah, has to burst that.
Yeah, I think it is just, as you're saying, the kind of difference in experience between these two so far. You know, it's not easy picking up, even if you have the legacy skill, picking up a new fighting game can still take some time. Exil is still showing a lot of promise and doing a lot of things right, but there's, you know, especially not being used to fight against Giovanna specifically, having come from Exert where, you know, she didn't exist, can prove a bit difficult.
Yeah, and I would say Chip is not the easiest character to control either.
For sure. Exil is one of the considered to be weaker characters in Strive right now, I feel like. Mainly because, you know, his old gimmick has always been having more options and dealing a lot of damage. At the trade-off of having very little life, and in the game where everyone has a shitload of damage, that low life is a bigger drawback than usual, right?
Oh no, a little too early on the 6B. Exil, let's go.
So close to putting themselves on the board, but now having to deal with all of this pressure.
Not quite the kill, but Exil can't take a single hit anymore.
And there it is, the grab was just enough. Now having to go into another round. Very dire situation for Exil, but
it's do or die.
We've seen unlikelier things happen in this show.
This is where the champion mentality will shine through. If you have that.
Exactly. The heart of a champion. a winner's mindset versus the heart of the champion. Who will win? And I think the reversal super wins right now. Deals so much damage. Just raw to chip. This is such a tragedy to witness. But even still, Exil still has his burst. Can use it very well. Uses the YRC to get out of the corner.
Baiting the burst. It's not coming. Exil.
Scatter gets theirs and just uses it right away. Oh, the whiffed grab into the immediate response from Scatter now.
I think Exil was playing that same option extremely aggressively, and I think Scatter started picking up on that habit. The super long dash into the throw. And this time, avoiding it, getting a throw of their own. A clean sweep, but still a worthy effort for sure from Exil.
Absolutely. And in between the next step, I'm gonna get myself some water. Everyone stay hydrated. Be sure to remain healthy, especially because it's still very hot outside.
Indeed. Hopefully this is actually probably, they say this might be one of the last hot days in Finland. So here's to hoping that we're finally moving to the autumn/winter time. It's about time. I'm so ready. All right, next up, Radune and Gas. So these players have a little bit of experience here on Bounty Hunters. I think the matchup they played previously was Radune Leo versus Gas Sol, which did end up in Radune's favor 7-4, I believe. So this is a sort of a redemption match of sorts for Gas, with a new character nonetheless. And I think this character might actually be more well equipped to tackling the kind of player that Radune is. Radune, of course, the showman, extremely aggressive, doesn't really let you negotiate. Radune will impose, Radune will go ham, and if you're not ready to play against that playstyle, I think Radune's greatest strength is that their playstyle clashes extremely well against certain kind of players, and characters as well to a certain extent. Now we're gonna have to see if Gas can bring the control that you would usually expect from Happy Chaos, if they are able to keep Radune in that mid-screen, far screen position and just keep shooting and not letting Radune an opportunity to go in. That would be the optimal scenario, definitely, for Gas. But if the Lion gets in, oh boy, you don't really have a lot of defensive options to speak of for Happy Chaos, so... Interesting thing here, so Gas has been rocking Bridget for a couple of weeks now, but has gone on record saying that she loves both Happy Chaos and Bridget. Both of those characters are very fun for her to play with, and trying to sort of find, I guess, balance and or, definitive answer as for like which character they want to commit to more, I suppose. But we'll see what she can bring to the table here. Radune Leo from Sweden, man that rarely needs any introductions. If you've been watching Bounty Hunters, you know who they are.
Yeah, the most frequent participator in Bounty Hunters for sure. Even noted in the spreadsheet as as the player who's shown up the most events. And in true Radune fashion, starting their set with a GG.
I mean,
it immediately works.
You can't say you didn't see that coming. Always bank on the first game, first round, Radune gonna DP. You better be prepared to punish it.
speaking of punishing, Gaz is able to block it, but unfortunately for her, that DD is backed up by 50 meter, which Radune used to make it safe. Get a hit in. Now Gaz needs to set up good offense with Happy Chaos, which is very difficult when the quietest gorilla that escapes the zoo is out here against you, taking the first round.
Happy Chaos has a lot of stuff to think about in terms of resource management, and you know, Radune is one of those players who's not gonna give you the time to think. He's gonna throw options, very risky options, very far-reaching options, anytime that they can.
I think the best way to describe playing against Radune is that your autopilot needs to be really good, because Radune will just be very wild, you know, just advancing at you relentlessly, and you need to be ready, you need to be prepared, and you know, you need to learn to deal with it.
And I think you do need a little bit of luck as well, because there's no way around it. If a Leo player wants to play this wild, you can't escape the RPS. You have to participate, you have to guess. So you do need a couple of, you know, good reads here and there to be able to tackle this matchup. Keeping the... Oh, but of course it gets parried. Or armored, or whatever that is. Guard pointed? I think guard point is the most accurate technical term.
I tend to refer to it as the guard, as the parry stance, which I know it's not necessarily correct. It does have the kind of counter hit effect, but yeah. Speaking of actual parries though, Radune using theirs with really good, using it very well to just get a hit into the wall break there.
That was surprising, able to actually hit confirm that straight hit, Gaz.
2D not being full screen enough, and now Gaz getting caught on the backdash. Backdashing against Leo is such a dangerous thing to do.
Right, we have the curse.
Trading on the dash up. Now,
I feel like...
yeah, on the guard break zoning. Going for the super. Getting the concentration.
Oh!
Unfortunately failing to punish the 2D. And taking the round at a loss, but getting so close. I think Gaz kind of was onto something there, just
yeah, I feel
with
like
keeping Radune at bay.
I think that was the right read, only Gaz sort of didn't anticipate the spacing to which Radune was gonna end up being after the 2D. Alright, here we go. The layer 1 response, you gotta be able to throw Berserker Slash. If not, you're just gonna get decimated. I'm gonna say you don't have a like a spark of hope in this matchup unless you can fight against that special move.
Yeah. And another thing is just being able to mindfully respond to the distance at which Leo can 2D you. So you can see that shit's nearly full screen. But, you know, if you can know where someone's gonna end up, sometimes you can get hit right at the edge, you can get hit a lot closer. You know, being able to respond in appropriate ways for the different places at which you're gonna be trying to block it, or, you know, even going for a counter hit when you're playing someone like Happy Chaos that can attack them far away is vital for the matchup.
I feel like Curse is gonna be vital against Radune here, because like we said, that like dash momentum 2D probably moves forward so fast that it's hard for your reticle to actually stay on Leo.
I can guarantee you it does, because knowing that Ino's hover dash is too fast for that reticle, you know, absolutely the dash up 2D is even faster than that, so you have to be very careful. And yeah, Radune does not realize, doesn't know what it means to be minus. We'll just be going for that flash kick, and you need to be ready to respond to it.
Damn, what do you do here? I think you just... Because Gaz doesn't really have the time to set up the shop at all. You would love to get that curse on, but when is the time?
Yeah, it's Radune. Radune does not want to give you the time. Radune knows it's against their best interest to give you any time to think, because any time that you're thinking, you're doing more thinking than they are, and that is on purpose. It's forcing the wild gameplay. There we go. More RPS, more mix coming in. Into the 2D, into the Sonic Boom, getting the grab after it all, and taking the round.
Alright.
Punishing the whiff grab. Okay, Gaz needs to get a little bit of room, a little bit of breathing room to set up, but Radune has no interest in stopping.
Damn, Radune
Will never have any
relentless.
interest in stopping.
Like, even when you sort of avoid one of their options, Radune just seems to have the 50 meter to back it up all the time.
I mean, Leo naturally can advance a lot with, you know, can advance a lot with the stuff that he tries to do, and Radune naturally, the way they play, plays into this.
Oh, you know what?
Always dashing forward at you.
Last round, I was like, wait, doesn't Gaz's movement look extremely weird to you? She did say slash button broke on Discord side. That's not good.
Yeah, how do you go if you don't have a slash button? How do you intend to go into the steady aim stuns?
Right? And a lot of Happy Chaos's important pokes are slash buttons as well, like bar slash, 2S. How are you gonna deal with Leo coming in unless you have access to that button every time you want?
Yeah, the 2S, the Happy Chaos 2S is such a solid button. Oh, solid conversion for Gaz. Unfortunate drop on it, and Radune on the on the meaty 5D gets the round win.
If I recall correctly, I think Gaz has had some stick problems in the past as well. And I guess it's not critical enough to just, abort this set right away, which would be,
I think it would be entirely reasonable on her part, but at the end of the day, I think this is the nature of this show being very friendly, and just kind of a set of exhibitions is, I guess it's okay to just keep playing for now. Shooting down, getting the tranquilizer shot, sending the gorilla back to the cage.
Yeah, the thing is, even if you get it out sometimes, we've all been there with the issue that, like, when you press a button, there's like maybe 50-50 chance that it comes out or it doesn't come out.
I think it's even worse. If a button just straight up doesn't work, you can at least know, I'm just not going to use it. You'll be at a disadvantage, but you know that if you try to press it, it just doesn't work. Whereas having it work like 50% of the times just means that you're gonna want to keep trying, and it's just sometimes not gonna work, and that just sucks. And we're seeing a bit of a delay. Radune on 5 or 6 points. 5 going in now.
Right.
Solid punish there, even getting concentration and the curse orb, but Radune again with the full screen 2D dashing up, getting the parry into the super. So much damage just for hitting 2 buttons.
It's literally what Radune is playing with here, is the pace. They're just not giving any time for Gaz to think about anything.
I think more than IKs, I want to see burst supers put back into Strive, mainly just to see what would happen when we get sets with Radune.
Oh god, burst supers, that's even more damage to Strive? Oh, that's scary.
People asking for IKs, that is basically it.
I mean, technically, yeah. Of course, I'm definitely not opposed to adding mechanics from Exert.
So let's start with Danger Time. But no, unfortunately for Gaz, just in the mix zone against Radune constantly, and that is the uncomfortable position to be in against Leo, against anyone. As Happy Chaos, you don't want anyone in your personal space. Any character that gets in close to you easily is a problem.
Yeah, and Radune is a predator. You're probably not gonna like even if your stick is broken, this guy will come in, mix you up, and bang on the jungle drums all the same. When you're standing before him in the field of combat, it's gonna be like this. And it is what it is. Oh, that was actually start of a pretty cool combo. Ah, the Season 2 change. You can actually use Berserker Slash to cross in the corner now. A very decent combo. This is definitely something that is great for Happy Chaos. Any hit that you land will hit confirm fairly comfortably, as long as you have bullets. And you have potential to do a lot of damage. Oh my god, the deal hate 2D! The Radune RPS!
Oh no.
I can't believe you would do Gas dirty like this. Yeah, even with the curse on, that dash 2D moves forward so fast. It's so hard with the reticle to track. Last ditch efforts here, breaking the throw, trading, but not enough frame advantage.
Oh no, gets the burst out of Radune, but still, it's such a dangerous position for Gaz. Radune respects the burst, Gaz delays it and is able to get out of the corner. She's able to get the reload out. Ooh, solid sweep.
Brilliant RPS from both players.
Can she confirm this into a kill?
No curse on at the moment.
Still no.
There we go!
Walking over to the clone to guarantee that any hit would get eaten, and then going for the grab.
You know, camping,
solid, smart play.
Camping at your clone is surprisingly effective because, like, your strikes have priority for clashing with the clone, I believe, and if it touches the clone, then, like, you're just gonna go into recovery.
Yeah, it's the same mechanics as Eddie Oppose, where it will always absorb the hit before Chaos if both are present in the hitbox. So you have to be very mindful of that. And now Gaz here will be getting the round win, the game win, putting herself on a hashtag not free list.
You know, I'm actually surprised that Radune didn't RC that 2D like the last time, because if your strike collides with the clone, you can actually react with an RC, I think.
You can actually.
And that actually...
It's a really good way of bypassing clone is, you know, exchanging the meter for the ability to get in.
Yeah, and if the main body is close to you, then the red RC explosion is gonna sort of make sure that they stand still. Or at least respect. Ooh, good timing for Gas here. We're starting to see adaptation.
Oh no, that still hits. Thankfully, it wasn't a lot of damage.
2 straight hits, and I think we're starting to see some fragments of adaptation for Gas here.
She's picking up a little bit of pace, being able to kind of contain the wild play that Radune is bringing into that Radune is bringing in, but it's still, you know, being on set point here on this round. It's a lot of pressure to maintain solid, solid offense and defense to not, lose on the spot. So we'll see how much she can do right now. Does the back throw, gets back thrown back. 5k, the stance K covering up.
Oh no, the Rekka! The Berserker Slash catches so fast the reticle can't keep up!
Oh, I think that was a failed super input, because the super would have killed there from Radune. Will this cost a round? No. Radune closing the set as it started with a DT hit.
Yeah, I wonder if the idea was to cover the dash cancel with a shot there, but the shot... Oh, you know what? Maybe the shot was there, but Radune just avoided it with DP. I'm actually not sure what happened there in the last RPS situation, but... Well... Either way, in the true Radune fashion, taking it with a DP, 7-1, but at least it was not free. All right, moving.
I think that's always something to. That's always something to just be a bit happy about. So at least I was not free. Yeah, adapting to Radune is difficult.
Yeah, Radune is a dangerous beast. Radune is sort of like a counter player. Like I said, like before the set, Radune is extremely strong against, you know, certain kind of play styles. I think play styles that tend to favor playing a little slower. Like if you can't just keep up with the overwhelming stream of options coming out of Radune, it is hard. But we are moving into the last two matchups of the day, and big heavy hitters coming out. In more than one sense of the word, we've got ZoKHiZ, the German GGST player that you love to see. Very, very precise, very deliberate, sort of. When they get their engine going, you're gonna die. That's what I'm often interpreting when ZoKHiZ is on the screen. Versus one of the few higher level Testament players currently available in Europe. DovahChief, the old Potemkin player, now a Testament player. With a very familiar matchup to me. I had the pleasure of playing this matchup last week. This is definitely an interesting one. This is revolving around GGST's security meter a lot.
Yeah, I remember seeing, you know, last week when I was watching your set, you know, depending a lot on if ZoKHiZ was being able to play with the drone or not, the balance of the matchup changes so much, and I think this is what DovahChief really has to do to kind of try and get ahead here. Ooh, unfortunately, crossing up on that Calamity 1, Sierra takes the first round.
Ooh, nice. Goes into conversion. And the fact of the matter at neutral is GGST just can't escape, you know, can't outrun, can't outjump Arbiter very easily. Not to speak about the fireballs even, like, you know, you're gonna see a lot of this gameplay where Testament is just standing at full screen and preventing GGST from coming in. One of the few things that GGST can actually do is take out the gun or take out the drone.
Yeah, which again, also depending on that security meter, as we were just saying, you know, the gun will be varying levels of effective based on how much meter is present. But again, I think Testament definitely is one of the better characters in the game at dealing with, you know, behemoth typhoons well spaced out. Oh, yeah, Sierra attempting to go for the gun just as we were talking about it.
And there we go with the especially the high Arbiter just prevents GGST from jumping at full screen. However, when you get in, oh, I think that was a burst safe-ish combo?
No, but speaking of burst, DovahChief gets a gold burst and now has a lot of meter to play around with. Unfortunately, Bird doesn't get a hit.
But this neutral situation still favors Testament quite a bit. Yeah, you will have to take ridiculous risks to get in without that drone covering your advancement. However, it is like this matchup is no exception to the rule that once GGST actually manages to get the level 3 droid out, that's sort of like a win condition for him. But the thing is, Testament at the same time is one of the strongest characters, like maybe other than Happy Chaos, preventing you from being able to throw that out. The low arbiter.
Okay. Gold burst handshakes. Sierra tries to go for the super jump and the super jump in rather and get 6 feet away.
Oh, here we go though. This is GoTLuis' touch. Needs just one more. After the throw. Yeah.
The drone still hits Testament there.
Yeah, I think that was still a decent trade for DovahChief because otherwise didn't manage to get a clean setup out of that trade. Like I would throw all the meter, all the resources I can in this matchup to prevent the droid from doing anything. Because that's
the clash with 5P and 2P. That was very interesting, and DovahChief was able to get the better of the two interactions now.
Ooh, jumping into the lingering fireball. Here's the other option, the minigun. Definitely the faster option to score a quick and fast full range knockdown. And now, oh, catches the backdash, but no combo. Sierra Boys will absolutely have to take all advantage that they can from this positional advantage, but here comes the hit, and you are not only dead, but back at the neutral. DovahChief, 2 in a row.
Really strong showing the start here for DovahChief. Playing the gender neutral super well so far, preventing Sierra from really being able to do any advancing movement. You know, as we say that, Sierra gets a really solid round start here, sends out the gamer drone, and look at this, just holding down the fort. Yeah, this is the hard part of playing against GoTLuis, is if he gets the momentum going, if he's able to use the drone Oki to his full advantage, it's so hard to do anything about it.
Yeah, I mean, you're so strong at keeping GoTLuis out that I think whenever GoTLuis gets a hit, even on block, I think you're just favored to lose. There's kind of like no two ways about it, and that's like that is okay. That is funnily okay for Testament, because theoretically GoTLuis shouldn't get in that position very often.
Exactly, it's the balance of the matchup. It's, you know, if you as a Testament player are having GoTLuis able to get in on you, that is unfortunately a failing on your part. Now DovahChief here is gonna eat a big combo. Still has a lot of meter to play with. Gets hit by the drone, which allows Sierra to get all the way over, but still being able to break out.
Yeah, can't outrun it. You see DovahChief throwing that high crow, the hold the button crow quite a bit, because it's surprisingly strong against GoTLuis, being a super tall character, as well as being able to, you know, tag basically all of his jumps. And you know, if you throw the neutral crow by holding the button, what is GoTLuis gonna do? Like, run, advance a little under it? You will still be like pretty okay and ready to respond. Oh, gets the burst out, but at what cost? Avoids the drone.
Oh
Wait,
no!
we're still there! Are you kidding me?
This is why I call it the gamer drone, because it's always gaming.
I think that's the first time I see that happen. I thought it was actually out of the screen already, but I guess the drone kind of functions like in the corner. If the screen scrolls too far, it's gonna slow down, maybe?
I mean, I think it was just that DovahChief just backdashed there and caught the drone as it was still advancing.
Ooh, that's a good jump in, but too far to convert. The current security level will be used for Skyfish and Sierra Vice.
DovahChief bursting at the very last possible moment. I think going for a little bit of a heroic play with it.
I think if there's a matchup where you go for that heroic burst, I think it's this. Because Testament can definitely, you know, prevent GoldLewis from getting any damage in.
And speaking of, DovahChief's already equaled out the health. And yeah, with the stain hit, I think Sierra was wanting to do something, expecting just the normal hit, forgetting about the stain hit that still comes after.
Oh, it is still very plus after the stain explosion. God, it's one of those matchups where if you are the GoldLewis player, you have to not get frustrated, like at any means necessary, because you can't avoid having to block in this matchup.
And GoldLewis has the tools to get in, the tools to win and then keep winning. But it's very hard to get there. But you need to be able to play patiently and think about it properly to get there, to get to that situation. Because otherwise, it's just not gonna happen.
It's really frustrating for GoldLewis because a lot of the times at neutral, you kind of think that you can jump out, but you actually can't. If the Testament player goes for an Arbiter, you're just gonna get caught. So it's hard to sometimes judge when am I free to move? When can I do stuff?
Yeah, as we just saw now, the moment Sierra got in, it was a checkmate position that just kept going. You know, DovahChief couldn't do that much about it because they were just being put against this big, unstoppable force.
Ooh, that's a lot of damage.
Solid cross-up, sending Dova back into the corner. That's a really, really funny combo. I love the variation that GoldLewis has in his combos that people do to get certain different kinds of carry with the different Behemoth Typhoons. Honestly, such an interesting character. And speaking of, the little 5B that could.
Damn, spent 50 meter even to try to desperately get out of those, you know, continuous arbiters. But alas.
Solid block on the gold burst.
You know, being in this situation is like almost equally as suffocating for like both characters. Like, you don't want to be in the corner against GoldLewis, but you don't want to be in the corner against Testament either. Nice, blocks a cross up. Oh, and here could be a makings of a comeback. Needs only one more hit. DovahChief does have the burst now, and yeah. I think that's sort of like a burst them back at neutral. Have to respect the low arbiter afterwards if Testament player wants to go for it. Yeah, it's like, even with the double jump, having so much trouble getting away from the high crow. Alright, spending real estate to negate that drone. And DovahChief.
Getting checked by that 2P. GoldLewis 2P is truly something else sometimes. It just does a lot of work.
This is sort of tricky, even though CarrotOfWisdom has DovahChief in the corner, when your opponent has like 50 meter and a burst, sort of forcing you not to go full throttle, even though you know it's your one chance, right? Nostrovia, of course, getting the wall break and the mix-up. Oh, wow, it actually worked out.
Yeah, I think the empty jump there ended up just not working. It just ended up not working in DovahChief's favor, but they played it super solidly up until the very last interaction. But still, you know, DovahChief's playing such an impressive game here. Oh, really taking CarrotOfWisdom on a bit of a journey.
The crow cannot be bursted. I guess luckily CarrotOfWisdom was sitting on a one round lead. The bad news is a no burst for this round.
Yeah, this is the very rough part of the situation. No burst means, yeah, you're already into the corner. There's no means of escape. Now the pressure starts. Yeah, the hit has been found. There's way more pressure where that comes from. So many overheads. ZoKHiZ doing a really good job at blocking, but unfortunately there's just nothing that can be done right now.
That's the sort of curse of like heavier characters. Even if you manage to gamble with a jump out, that like ZoKHiZ was able to get a forward jump there. DovahChief just checked it, recovering fast enough and just putting the 5B out there. Like we were talking about the victory condition, the the drone being what GGST needs. It's not like, I think it's not like ZoKHiZ doesn't want to go for it at neutral, but they just can't. It's DovahChief is just playing the perfect spacing all the time and threatening with the arbiters.
And now with the gold burst.
Oh my goodness, slowing the frames, 6B out, fast enough. This will be a kill, I think, but this is only one round.
It is, and unfortunately Sierra is yet to put themselves on the board. Though, granted, it's not the first 6-0 we're seeing today. I don't... Yeah, it's not. And, when it's happened before, the person who is getting washed, this is their chance to get into the board. So, hope Sierra continues that trend. But just as we're saying that, Dova is playing such a solid zoning game, being able to just control where Sierra is able to exist on the screen so effectively. Even the jump dust, the tried and true jump dust that Lerkuss usually does has been punished.
Is this a kill? It is!
Oh! Yeah, I was talking! Whew.
Testament only with 1 guts, I believe, so that is gonna hurt decently well. Alright, we are on board, but we need to do it 6 more times.
Yeah, but I mean, Sierra definitely, old name that can bring it home if needed.
Look at this. As soon as Sierra was able to get a drone out at neutral, this is what happens. It's like, even if you are Testament, if you didn't check the drone, you will have to respect it to a certain extent. There's a lot of RPS if you have Succubus out, like being able to threaten the teleport out, but generally, as long as the drone exists, it is basically GGST's RPS to control. Let's see if Sierra manages to get those out more. Yeah, of course, when you're trying to move back, DovahChief will not let you. They will not let you have that full screen position, that comfortable spacing to take out the drone. No, sir.
Now, breaking the wall back into neutral, but they're staying applied. Never mind. Sierra breaks it immediately by getting a hit, and a tap 5D finds its way into Sierra's face.
Ah, yes.
Bringing the round down now. It's a classic thing. We always mention it when it happens. Sometimes just tapping 5D when your opponent is at 1 health just brings home the round.
Yeah, it's not like, the 21 or what frame overhead is like. You have to be some young freaking dude to be able to react to that, right?
Yeah.
Especially in online games. Alright, ZoKHiZ still with the life lead, but... Going under!
Now very daring 6B finding its way in, getting... Sierra now really going for the reverse sweep.
Very reminiscent finishing move there. Air dash out of the corner into back hitting Behemoth Typhoon. Kind of like Baiken dashing out of the corner with Yosanzen.
Sierra finding the gold burst, immediately using it to get a good combo in, failing to punish the failed burst from Dova, unfortunately, but they're still a corner position with the gamer drone going in.
Oh wow, the jump D actually not hitting far enough. This is a pretty good opportunity for Dova to steal this round away. Yeah, use the
finding a
50
hit with a 5D. Now maintaining the corner position.
Now here's a question. Have you do you know where the gaps are? Because this pressure is nasty if you don't know where the opportunity is to Avare. Oh, that's it. I think.
Does that get a hit? No, it doesn't. There was already a bird there, just waiting, just ready to take the round, and now Sierra once again put in the position. Losing one more round means losing the set.
Pushing forward into the corner, tries to jump the Sierra Wise, desperate to get some sort of break from all these shenanigans. Yeah, that's like even though Sierra Wise got the drone out, the very late low arbiter preventing them from playing with it. And that threat, even though that interaction happened at the very last game there, that threat was looming for the duration of the whole set.
Yeah, just like that, DovahChief very convincingly takes it 7-2. Really well played. I mean, just as you were saying, just the pressure was on point at all times. Oh. Just like that, we're going now into the last set of the day.
Yeah, if you were hoping for more Testament stuff, fear not, we got one more to go.
Yeah, I think if there was someone hoping for more Testament stuff here, it's definitely you. Though I do really enjoy seeing Testament being played. I really like their iteration and Strive. I think, you know, it's a very fundamental change from how they were back in Plus R, but still, you know, really, really interesting incarnation of the character, I feel.
Yeah, definitely more sort of fundamentals, basics oriented, much more neutral oriented, less tricky stuff, which is what you would expect for, you know, Strive.
Compared to Plus R, you know, obviously not every character, and I don't think it would just fit in Strive. I think Testament's old kit, they just, you know, wouldn't be able to be ported in a very similar way over to Strive from Plus R. You know, the kind of setting down traps into big normals, throwing you around the stage a lot, isn't necessarily a thing that we see that much in Strive compared to other anime fighting games. Still, it's a very kind of crazy design that goes all over the place that a lot of other anime fighters will have that Strive kind of has toned down compared to them.
But it's not like it's, you know, necessarily a bad thing. It's all different. We definitely need different kinds of fighting games in the world.
Yeah, and again, you know, I don't mean it as a to make any judgment of value in it. It's just the different games that there are, and I think it's good that we keep exploring the definition of what anime fighting games quote unquote have to be in terms of the ways in which the rhythms at which they're played, they work.
Right. That's an interesting point. Because we do have a couple of, you know, anime pseudo air dashers, which sort of play more akin to Street Fighter. Like we've had games such as like Under Night, which, you know, is very interesting synthesis between the anime games and, you know, more just footsie-oriented games. And then we have Strive.
My girlfriend was showing me Under Night for the first time a few days ago, because I've never gotten to play it. Unfortunately, the netcode kind of turns me away from wanting to pick it up right now.
Oh yeah, that
because
doesn't
I
have
don't know
rollback
I don't know how capable I would be to play with my friends over big distances. But you know, there seems to be a lot of really interesting ideas there in the game to explore, and very, very cool characters for sure was one thing I noticed. So
yeah, it is definitely a game that offers you something that, you know, no other game puts together. So yeah, we definitely need more games like this. But this is not Underlight, this is Strive, and this is Fecian, Jacko versus CarrotOfWisdom Testament. You know, I'm interested to see not only new Testament players, but, you know, CarrotOfWisdom not being a Testament main, how do they what kind of tools they use? How does their, you know, playstyle differ from maybe Testament mains?
Yeah, especially being someone who, you know, Carrot's most well-known characters are the Milia and the Jacko, especially the Jacko as of recent. And those are two completely different characters, you know, Jacko being the very technical set play, a puppet character type, versus Milia, that's the I'm going to move so fast you're not going to be able to keep up when my 4-way mixes on the knockdown character. And it's very interesting to see that those are the two characters that Carrot plays the most, and you know, Testament is in a completely different place altogether, as you were describing them before, being the like a lot more space controlling, probably slower, footsies based gameplay, and kind of seeing then Carrot's possible range, I think is very interesting. As we see now, already took one round, but now look at this, 100% risk gauge.
Yeah, Carrot knows.
Just,
if they don't have burst or 50, they can't do much here.
Yeah, I think the fact that Carrot just was holding down back here is just signaling that Carrot is absolutely aware of what their options are here.
Yeah,
if there's someone who knows Jacko, it's CarrotOfWisdom.
Yeah,
and Fecian, obviously.
Yeah, it's kind of respect as well. CarrotOfWisdom knows that Fecian is not gonna fuck that pressure up. If they try to mash out, they're just gonna get hit. So I guess you can stay there and try to instant block for a little bit of, you know, meter gain.
Yeah, these two are definitely not your Randini tower Jackos for sure.
Yeah.
Both of them are, you know, players who are extremely knowledgeable in all of the ways that you can kind of play the character. Some of the pioneers on developing tech for them even. So.
Ooh, that's the 6p cancel. That's an interesting thing. If you touch the incoming minions, you can actually cancel that into specials or supers.
That was interesting. Look at how much damage that did. That was an equalizer of the health deficit right away. And now Fecian is just throwing the projectile invulnerable minions out, trying to get something with the soccer kick as well. Yeah, it's so hard to deal with that. The pace at which Fecian is playing right now is kind of dizzying.
I'm already seeing kind of what I wanted to. I've seen Carrot do nutty things I've never seen Testament players go for. That's kind of the, you know, observing the player who is the multi-talent, has basically knowledge of all characters in the game. They will opt to sort of solve the problems, solve the RPS situation a little different, maybe, having, you know, much more information about, you know, globally about the game.
Yeah, and you know, as we were talking about, here comes the big pressure. 5Ds for the hit, and Fecian with a really dominant round here, taking Carrot out.
That's why it's so very important to save that 50 meter. If you get in the corner situation and you don't have that, you're toast.
solid 6 speed from Fecian. Gets an extra minion off of it. Now jumping in, the jump slash, football kick. This is one of the most damaging starters for Jacko.
One more chance, but oh, nice teleport! Avoids the jump D. Oh, but yeah, baits the burst as well. That was Fecian seeing so far into the future, and a lot of those, like all of those actions from CarrotOfWisdom kind of had to happen as well, because they didn't have a lot of health to play with.
Yeah, this is very interesting to see, because obviously, you know, Jacko typically is such a much slower character. When you see her being played in the hands of other, you know, other gamers, and just the pace that Fecian is setting here with this game, with his game so far, has been, you know, absolutely, you know, so difficult to deal with. We seem to have gotten kicked again, unfortunately.
I think Fecian noticed. Yeah, both the players noticed.
yeah.
So we're gonna skip straight into back to lobby, which is nice. Don't want to miss any games from these talented players.
Yeah, and also very funny to see that, you know, looking at the Discord, both of these players have Jacko fan art as their profile pictures, so you know where their allegiances lie.
Yeah, Fecian, I think for the duration that Jacko has been out, hasn't really been playing many other characters other than Jacko, so, you know, Jacko character loyalist through and through.
And you can tell, I mean, Fecian was what, nearly level 3,900 on Jacko. That's a lot of playing in just the Celestial Tower with her. Not to, you know, mention all the amount of times you will be playing in player lobbies, playing in a park with people, playing, you know, in these kinds of events, potentially playing online. I don't know if Fecian attends any of their local events. So, you know, that's absolutely a lot of Jacko gaming on one person. And you can see by their medals, you know, rank 1 Jacko at some point, having having beaten a lot of Jackos as well. So
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Another interesting thing is that Fecian has been playing against a lot of Testament players as of late. Like only, like even yours truly. We had our set and we've been playing a lot in Celestial. So this should basically be a matchup that both players know very well from their like many different angles. Oh, the big counter hit.
The Fecian's kind of holding out for the burst, yeah, but Fecian has shown some really good patience already. You know, despite how fast they've been playing, I've seen some very real just the mindfulness about their play, which is very nice to see.
Oh, we're in the corner now, and no burst, no tension to get out.
Ooh, solid hit back into the corner. I do wonder at which point, sometime, is there a situation where you're going to be put into an infinite lock swing by Jacko, where you should just get, oh, I'm so sorry, where you should just get a hit and take the wall break and go into the next screen because you'll take less damage overall.
You know, I've been thinking about the same, because like if you keep blocking and if your risk gauge just keeps increasing, if you know there's not gonna be a way out of that block string for like 10 seconds or 15 seconds straight, maybe you actually want to take the hit. Like maybe take a hit from like a light and just take the damage and go to the next screen. That is actually a valid question and probably a valid game plan. But it's definitely one of those options that haven't been explored as much by the players.
Especially because you always have the danger of your opponent might just reset on you, and then you're back to square one, and you took even more damage. I guess it's about, you know, the player that you're against. Will they just see that that's what you're trying to do? Will they realize that's an option? And it would just reset pressure in that scenario.
And we've seen a lot of those like wall slump loops coming out of a lot of different characters recently. So those setups are definitely on the rise.
For Jackal. I've seen them for a lot of characters. You know, I've seen, you know, Ino was definitely one that was pioneered for it. There's Ramothal, Zato, Happy Chaos is a big one for the wall slump pressure.
Yeah, I saw one for Baiken yesterday from the man himself, Shinjin.
Oh no. Yeah, those are very terrifying, because that's definitely one of the biggest checkmate positions that you can have in Strive is holding your opponent hostage in the sort of in that wall slump loop. Now Arbiter's Line controlling space really well. Carrot here finding some damage in, has a slight health advantage, but still, you know, struggling very much to kind of play against Fecian's kind of control of neutral so far.
Oh wow, low profiling so much that the jump in actually missed there initially. And Fecian grabbing 4th in a row. It's so many interesting choices, so many interesting ways to play this matchup Carrot is bringing to the table, and delivering a lot of rewards from those, you know, RPS situations as well. But in the end, it's been Fecian getting that last laugh so far.
I do wonder how, you know, Fecian is obviously a super strong player, you know, as strong as Carrot is as well. Has to be noted. So I do wonder how much this kind of stipulation that was set by Carrot to try and play Testament instead this week could be playing. Sorry, I'm getting attacked by a cat. It's a very professional setting. But no, I do wonder how much the stipulation might have been a bit too much potentially, because Fecian here is doing very well, but also. What I was gonna ask is, how cursed could a Jackal mirror be? And
that's a good question. I've never seen a Jack mirror before.
Me neither, and I kind of want to. And I think these are the two players for it. So, if either of you are listening, I want to ask, you know, what do we need to do to make this happen? To watch some really cursed gameplay.
Yeah, because interestingly enough, these players have not actually played against each other before on any characters.
Just on Bounty Hunters or in general?
Yeah, just in Bounty Hunters. I imagine in...
Solid parry?
Yeah, backing up, that's very smart. Fecian is really good at using those minion parries. A lot of the time when you're throwing out fireballs or crows with, you know, the expected timing, Fecian will just nullify those using the parry command. Even like Arbiter signs, a lot of those will, yeah, not sort of advance your game plan if Fecian is ready to counter them.
Also, I see you in the chat saying, you know, the Jackal mirror is really cursed, and way more cursed than it sounds like, and you're just making me want to see it more. You know, for science sake. Jackal is absolutely a riot to watch being played well. I love it so much because, you know, the way, the really creative and the really creative ways in which players kind of do these minion setups and put them exactly where they want them to be is super sick to watch every time.
Ooh, nice!
Oh, and there's Slump Burst going that will save Fecian from losing the round right here, but Carrot with the jump kick still finds the round.
I love the choice of button there, not allowing there to be any sort of, you know, left-right, because jump K actually hitting both directions. Carrot potentially slowly turning up the steam. But I mean, it's definitely not easy to do a lot of stuff when you already have a couple of minions out. This is gonna hit for a lot.
Yeah, Elysian Driver.
Ow.
I was about to comment on how Elysian Driver is one of the most damaging supers in the game. It's just a raw. And, you know, the fact that you can combo into it is terrifying.
Oh, nice. Opted to not even take the air throw RPS there. Just jumpy snipe out of the sky.
Solid 6p on the minions. And yeah, those are the kind of things that you just expect the Carrot to know as a Jackal main, is, you know, knowing how to keep away minion throws at various ranges.
Whoa.
Because when you play the character that much, you will see what people have, you know, in this case, Carrot will have seen a lot of Testament players and how they have dealt with their minions in the past. And so being able to remember those situations and then apply it when you're the Testament playing against Jackal is very important.
I'm so surprised Carrot actually managed to find an Abare out of the corner. And again, almost baiting it, not quite. Next hit will be crucial. Here come the minions. Yeah.
And there it is. Fecian now going up 6-0. The second set in a row to do this.
Since Carrot didn't have any, like, relevant amount of resources there, I think the, like, only thing that they could have done was to, you know, try to wiggle themselves out of that situation instead of, you know, taking the minion block. Ooh, being tricky, but the jump D hitting slightly too high. Oh, Jacko 2D, such a good tool for going under crows at that close to mid-range.
Yeah, it's kind of a poor woman's stroke, but still such a good button. Low profile, so many things in this game. Oh, the clash with 2P here. But Carrot able to come out winning out of it. He takes the round now.
So many rounds won by Carrot, but not the full game yet.
You can tell Carrot started winning more rounds as the set kept going and got better at it. So I do wonder if there's still a chance here
Jesus,
that this game will be the one that labels Carrot as hashtag not free on Testament. And again, I don't think Carrot's Testament is free at all. I just want to point that out because Carrot has shown some really strong play and awareness for someone who's obviously not been playing Testament that long. Oof.
Yeah,
That's a
and
rough position to be in.
And in the end,
It's just-
you know, if you're talking about matchups, I think this is at least not Testament favorite. I'm hesitant to say more, but this is definitely not Testament favorite at least. So there's that.
And you know, it's very, especially when you're talking about certain matchups, a lot of it will have to do with who you're playing against, and obviously any kind of reasonably kind of disadvantageous matchup against Jackal will be exacerbated by the fact that we have Fecian of all people piloting her right now, who's again tried and true, one of the strongest players of the region with her.
Right, CarrotOfWisdom has a tool here. Oh my goodness, lands a 5P.
But still had a burst to get through.
Yo,
The
that's
parry
so smart.
minion, unfortunately,
CarrotOfWisdom.
wasn't there
The
when it was
adaptation.
needed.
I think that was the perfect adaptation because Fecian has been showing those minion parries. I think CarrotOfWisdom in that situation, that moment, they were reading it, and instead of striking into it, they just went for the throw.
Yeah, and again, it's as people were saying, it's Carrot's knowledge of Jackal, knowledge of where the gap was, to then go in there, just showing. And once again, we're seeing the script repeat itself of being 6-0 on a set today, and suddenly being able to take a round, potentially being able to take more.
Oh, that was such an important escape. Otherwise, CarrotOfWisdom would have had to block that corner pressure with no meter. Spent the 50. One of those stain hits is potentially a strike throw. Oh, but how have the tables turned? Only one minion, but doesn't matter. The install super is active.
The sweep finds the hit.
And now
once
Fecian.
again. Yeah, Fecian on set point for the second time.
Ooh, barely avoiding the minions. It's really important to not let Jacko get sort of like critical mass of the minions. You want to try to destroy them as they come out, if you can. Oh my god, Fecian was so ready for that teleport. Here we go, potentially last mix-up of the game. Oh my goodness! Reversal back throw. Are we still in this?
Oh, there's a
Misses.
hit. There's some pressure sequence. Fecian escapes the corner. Carrot's teleporting behind. Tries to hit the bird, it doesn't. Fecian escapes it, puts a minion down, puts two minions down now.
Oh, that was
Parry was so well found, and the 5D RC finds the hit for the win. Fecian.
That is
Really
nutty.
strong Jacko play.
The strike was nowhere near the minions, but it extends backwards a little, and you know, the minion parry hitbox extends forward, so you put one and one together. Oh my goodness. Either way, that was like, I saw so much new stuff that I'm actually gonna steal from Carrot. Even, you know, from a player who does not play Testament as their main. I think I got exactly out of this set what I personally wanted, what I was like talking about at the start. You just see, you know, people play the characters so different when they have, you know, different mindset, when they're maybe mains of different characters. I'm thoroughly satisfied watching that set. Oh boy, all right. That is our 6 matchups for today.
Really solid sets today, really exciting stuff seen. A lot of gender neutral, and you know, really good showings from players we either haven't seen in a bit or haven't seen that much of at all. You know, that set between Frinky and Aizawa was really cool showing. You know, Frinky being able to show up more often now, and hopefully Aizawa on the not to be discouraged after the first time here will continue to come back.
For sure. It can always be a little intimidating getting, you know, blown out of your debut game, but hey, that's sort of what being a strong player is about. You acknowledging that you actually gain more from your losses that you gain from your wins, turning it into strength and coming back stronger. Because the end goal is to get better, not to win. The wins, the W's, they will come as they do automatically.
And I think, I don't remember who it was that said this, but I remember seeing it written somewhere that you're only as good as how many times you've lost. And that just stays with me every time. Every time I get a bit of more of a frustrating loss in a set or in a match, you know, I just remember that. And I try to calm myself down and just think about what just happened and learn from it.
I think that's excellent. I've heard that same like idea being presented in slightly different words, but I think that's like one of my favorite ways to put it for sure. That's it. I'm gonna steal that. I'm gonna steal that quote.
It's not my quote, so you know. Feel free to steal it, because I did just that, and I do not know who to attribute it to.
All right, but that's it for us today. If you want to sign up for next week, we do this every Sunday, same time, 5 p.m. Central European summer time. It's not going to be summertime for too much longer. I think the daylight saving is going to change next. Wait. Is it August already?
Really?
It is August. It's gonna change in a couple of days, right? at the end of August?
I'm not even sure. I never remember. I just know that the way I deal with daylight savings, because right now all of my clocks are digital and deal with it the same way. I just know that I wake up one day and people are like, oh, did you notice, the time changed tonight? And I say, did it now? and that's my experience every year.
Let me ask my best friend Google. Yeah, daylight savings for Europe generally starts Sunday, 30th of October. Alright, so it is next month. We're still August. Wait, October? No, that's 2 months.
Oh no, 2 months from now.
2 months. Alright. So nowhere near. We still got many more events to go. But yeah, if you want to sign up, you can, for instance, don't have to join my Discord, but that's the easiest place for me to reach all the players. Info is bottom right corner of the screen. The more people sign up, the easier it is for me to make balanced matchups.
Yeah, and Fecian, you're asking in the chat, the Bounty Hunters tier list should have its weekly update posted soon enough.
Yes.
Once we have all the data from today put in. Obviously that depends on Lohi and Ultinate to take care of that. Bless them. Shout outs for keeping that.
Oh yes.
that document up, because it's a super great resource to look at.
Yeah.
And
so
speaking of, as I'm gonna do exclamation mark Discord, as I've been doing at the end of every show, to get people to join in. Come on and sign up. Open to anyone and everyone.
yeah. So keep an eye out for posts from Lohi. I think he updates the Bounty Hunters tier list between every single event, usually after the Sunday event. So if you want to see that will also be posted in the Bounty Hunters Discord.
It's typically just uploaded to the fighting game channel.
Yeah.
And yeah, with that, I think that's it for us today. We've got Striving for Progress happening on the EMEA FGC channel now.
Yeah. Let's dump the viewers over there.
Yes, it's a really cool tournament to watch, to see all the kind of up and coming talent for the region. You see a lot more names getting recognition that they deserve, even though they're not quite there yet, but they're approaching. They're attempting to get to the point where they can compete more often in a lot of the other open brackets we have. So yeah.
Right, see you there. Thanks for watching, thanks for playing, and we'll see you again next Sunday. Till then, stay safe. Bye-bye.
Bye.